Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to Uncles in Law. It's a podcast episode. Someone told me what it was, and I didn't have anything. I couldn't hear anybody. What now? What number is this, guys?
It's number 6.
Episode 6.
All right.
Michael
Thank
thought
you.
it was
Well,
4, which really drives home just how much he's processing and taking seriously this enterprise.
You know, time
Well,
flies when you're having fun, you know?
I think he's got so much to do. What with snow and have you met his children? I've met them. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whereas I, on the other hand, live a life of leisure where I just, go to the spa all day.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Amherst, Massachusetts. I'm playing hooky
Hang
from
on,
my board
this up?
meeting.
Yeah.
Where's your family?
In a hotel room, no family around.
Yeah, okay, fine. You got me there.
If you want to get like a pizza delivered to your room, no problem. No one's gonna judge you for it. It's just gonna happen.
Except that if I really wanted pizza right now, I'd walk a block and a half to Antonio's Pizza, which is, the best pizza ever, and they don't deliver.
Oh, that is well, okay. If they don't deliver, fine. I was gonna say.
If anyone has opinions on Amherst, Massachusetts pizza, you can email us at.
It's Amherst. Don't pronounce the H.
Oh, it's not. It's
sorry.
Amherst.
Yes,
Amherst.
I mean,
theoretically, at Uncles
we
in Law
don't
Pod at
claim
gmail.com.
we don't claim Western Mass as a Boston native.
apparently not. You guys get past Worcester, and it's like a whole different country.
That's right.
I mean, it is honestly. You want
Yeah,
the only time you go by, the only place you can go past Worcester is to get to Springfield, and then beyond Springfield is the Great Barrier. No one's ever crossed it.
Amherst is not beyond Springfield. Amherst is north of Springfield.
Oh yeah, no one goes up there. As far as I'm concerned, it's like Massachusetts is like sliced diagonally, starting at Lowell, and it just slices diagonally down to Springfield, and that's it.
I mean, it's really just the 495 belt.
The 495 belt, actually, you know what it is? It is. It really is.
If we're being honest.
My friend John and I.
So what state am I in right now? If I'm not in Massachusetts,
You're in Western Massachusetts.
Yeah, which is a separate state, like West Virginia. I don't know if you're familiar.
Although I think the Berkshires would say that Amherst is actually not Western Massachusetts. That Amherst is Central Massachusetts. But
No.
Well, that's like where there are all those towns. My buddy John and I always text each other just made up names of Massachusetts towns. Just sound like Middlebury, which might actually be a town. I don't know, but like
that's a town in Vermont, actually.
Oh, okay, there you go. There's a naming convention.
A town, it's a college.
It's a college. Yes, it's a college.
It is one of Amherst's peer institutions.
Not to be confused with Middletown, Connecticut,
which is also where there's another of Amherst's peer institutions.
Home of Wesleyan University.
Go Cardinals.
Did I not say Middlebury? Wait a second. What did I say?
Middletown?
Said
Middlebury. No.
Michael is making the point that you can take any like directional word and add it to town or berry and name like 7 different New England towns.
Like Southbury, Vermont.
Or Westbury, Connecticut.
What about Swampton?
Or Westerly, Rhode Island.
That's right. What's that, Matt?
Swampton. How about that? That's not.
Hmm.
That can't be a real town.
No, there's Swampscott.
Yeah, exactly.
Swampscott.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon doing the towns.
Did we? We might have talked about that. That might have been where I heard about it. Was from you guys, because my algorithm didn't get that until someone told me about it. Anyway, okay, good.
Or maybe your phone heard us talking about it.
That's the algorithm is pretty. I'm getting a lot of like tennis ads when I watch baseball now, which is Jess Dory talking to my phone.
I can explain that. I can explain that.
Please.
That's ads based on your IP address. So she's looking at tennis websites.
Oh, constantly. Yeah. Like I think that's all
constantly.
We get commercials for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So, it's identified your IP as highly susceptible to tennis advertising.
It really is.
Serving up a shitload of it, apparently.
She is. I think she went to watch She went to watch her team's tennis match today. She's not playing. She went to go watch it. It's 90 degrees right now.
Well, she is. Isn't she the captain?
Yeah, but like.
Well, you got to show
come
up.
on. No, you don't have to show up. I mean, I guess you do if you want the plate and the coffee cup that says captain. It's really her whole identity at this point. But That's beside. I asked her to get a hobby. I said, "You got to get a hobby. You need to like really find something that speaks to you because I have 400."
Did she
hobbies
appreciate? Did she appreciate you saying she needs a hobby when in fact she has a hobby, which is tennis?
No. This was pre-tennis. I said she had to get a hobby. Yes, this is, and I was like, "Here's what you need to do: is go find something you like doing." And then I don't know how she really got back into tennis, and it just sort of took over our lives. And she just texted me earlier today. She's like, "Hey, my friend has a pass for Indian Wells, an all-day pass for Indian Wells, and I kind of want to go." So I'm like, "Oh, this is a leading question, so I'll dig in. Go ahead and go." Okay. And she's like, "It's on March 9th." And I'm like, "Great, no problem." And then she goes, "My parents are there." I'm like, oh, "Okay." I said to her, she's like, "I really want to go." I was like, "Go. It's fine. You go for a day. I'll hang out with Nana and Saba and Henry. No problem." And she's like, "Yeah, but," and I said to her, I'll read you the exact exchange. I said, to try to make her feel better, I said, hang on. Do you think if Michael got invited to Augusta National and your parents happened to be around, he would not go? And she goes, "Oh, he would leave immediately. But he also sees them all the time, and his wife died." And I said, "A lot of good points."
I mean, look, if I were to be invited to Augusta National, whether to watch the Masters or to play, my parents would be the ones coming before that
to fill in,
happens.
right?
To fill in, yeah. So,
do you think she's secretly asking me to go with her?
That's where I thought you were going.
No,
but,
that's not at all what's happening here.
Knowing you and knowing her, probably not.
That's like when for Karen for our 15, or wait, when did I do this? For our like, I don't know, some big birthday. Oh, it was for like a big birthday and like Karen's like 10th Mother's Day. I got
That's
her.
not a thing people celebrate, just so you know. It's not like
whatever. I don't. It was some big birthday. I got her two.
No, it's okay.
I got her 2 tickets to Taylor Swift on the floor in Toronto. And sort of didn't actually invite myself, but kind of hoped I'd be the second person she brought. Never occurred to her. Never occurred to her for a moment.
That's my dream.
I mean, look, in her defense, you're too tall to be on the floor at a concert.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say in her defense, it was the 3rd time she went to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour.
No. I mean, you can't be the one who brings the 6'8" guy. It's like,
well, it's also here's the.
I don't think my height, Michael. I don't think my height is the reason why it didn't occur to her to invite me.
I was trying to make you feel a little better, but
after I said lots of good points to her when she brought up all the reasons why Michael would go to Augusta National, she goes, "I mean, we know Karen would leave," and I said, "That's exactly why I didn't bother with the comparison." So anyway, the fact that she's asking is like she's looking for some absolution of guilt. Like, if she listens to this, which I think she does, like, go, don't worry, you're fine.
I mean, it's just for the day, right? She's not leaving for.
No, I don't even. Even if it was for multiple days, it seems like Indian Wells is like a big thing for tennis people.
It's an event. Yeah, it's a to do.
It's a hubbub. Go have the hubbub.
It's a to do.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you tried to get Masters tickets ever, Michael?
I mean, I put in, the Masters, for anyone listening who's not a golf fan, is the, probably the most famous golf tournament in the world. Mm-hmm. They don't sell a lot of tickets. A lot of the tickets have been in families and passed down for generations. But every year they run a lottery for both the practice rounds, which are the 3 days before the tournament, and the 4 days of the tournament. And you can apply for the lottery. I apply every year. I've never gotten them. I do know multiple people who have gotten them. So it's not impossible.
Just through the lottery?
Yeah, through the lottery.
Wow.
Although, look, I think as time goes on, it's certainly like one of the bucket. I don't generally like going to big sporting events. Like I don't, you know, the Patriots were just in the Super Bowl, and like it never really crossed my mind to go. But I would love to go to the Masters. So if I don't get in through the lottery, at some point I will just buy a ticket on the secondary market and just go.
I went to the 2018 World Series when it was out here just because I felt like, oh, there's a real obligation. They happen to be playing 10 miles from my house. It's the World Series. I would be really remiss if I didn't go. And I went to Game 3, which was I think it was, of all the games, it was the best game to go to. It was the game after the 18-inning game where we had there's a big comeback in Game 3. And I remember that is the only sporting event I've ever gone to where I was like thrilled that I went and never have to do it again. Like I've been to a Red Sox World Series. It was amazing. I'm on the, if you look at, there's a shot of Eduardo Rodriguez walking off the mound after he strikes out Puig. And you can see me like in the aisle with my hand on my knee, like staring forward. And you see Dory and Kate Spencer next to her. They're just chatting to each other, and I'm just like staring. It's very.
Was the
funny to
Pope
me.
there?
The Pope was not at that game. It was not a White Sox game, so the Pope sadly did not make it out.
Yeah.
That's just like the randomest thing in the history of the world is that someone found that like B-roll from the 2005 World Series with the Pope. Like,
yeah.
Well,
if I ever
turn to the
Sorry,
clock.
Yeah, Steve, I was going to ask you,
it.
like, what besides a Mets World Series, like that?
Which I've been to one Mets World Series game. Karen and I went to Game 5 of the 2015 World Series.
Did she get you 2 tickets and expect herself to be invited?
I got her I got 2 tickets, and it was never a question of who I was bringing.
I see.
We went to one game in each of the series that season because we were still in DC. Karen was pregnant with Maddie, but we didn't have kids, so it was actually easy to pop up to New York. So I will say I do not feel any inclination to move heaven and earth or spend a ton of money to see the Knicks in the playoffs or the Giants in the playoffs or the Rangers in the playoffs. I will move a lot of mountains to see the Mets. And, we took the girls. I mean, Michael, you know this because we stayed with you. We didn't stay with you. The girls stayed with you. We took the girls, was that October 24, right? So the 2024 NLCS, it just worked out perfectly. It was the same weekend as my 20th law school reunion. And the Mets, the home games 3, 4, and 5 of the NLCS against the Dodgers, the game 5 was the Friday. And so Karen and I had to get from DC to New Haven on a Friday, which happens to go right through New York. So I said, if the game is at 5:00, we'll bring the girls. And if not, we'll dump the girls somewhere and we'll bring 2 friends. And the game was at 5:07, and we took the girls, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Matt, the Mets, I'll make an exception. I'm not generally someone who's like, oh, a team I support is in a big game, let me go. But if it's the Mets, I do.
In fairness to me, I was employed at the time, writing television, and the idea of like going onto StubHub and spending, I think it was $15,000.
What? $15,000?
Yeah, that is not what we paid for the 2015 World Series tickets or for the NLCS tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the other thing about the 2015 World Series tickets is they were
LA,
in the 7-line army. But the 2015 World Series tickets, we were in the 7-line army, which is like the big crazy Mets fan cheering section in right center field. Like that was. That was a hard experience to replicate.
I was 1 section over and 3 rows in front of Bill Simmons.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool.
So
yeah, I mean, look, like you say, $15,000. Like when I envision going to the Masters, in my mind, I would spend $5,000 on a single day ticket.
Yeah,
because I know that it's like you go, you don't necessarily have to go back. I would go back if someone then called me and said, "Hey, I've got a free ticket for you," obviously. But that sounds
in
reasonable.
the lottery system, though. What do you pay for tickets? I would assume it's not $5,000.
Like $100.
Yeah, right. If you get it right, if you get them
like
direct, they're not expensive.
The face value, which like doesn't actually exist in practice. I was trying to think, like there are some other sporting events I would like to go to. Like
Final Four.
The Final Four would be cool. I mean, I was actually texting with friends. Michigan's basketball team is exceptional this year, although they did just lose to Duke. And the Final Four is in Indianapolis. I do think that would be cool for sure. I would like to see like a Champions League final game of soccer.
Oh, that's interesting. Sure.
Yeah, that's an easy ticket to get.
Yeah, like, am I on the European equivalent of StubHub looking for tickets? No, but like, it's more just kind of like, what cool environments would I like to be in if I don't have a team there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the Champions League final is a neutral site, right?
It is a neutral site. But like, I would like to go to like a Premier League soccer game or football game.
I think I would have enjoyed the World Series more if the Red Sox weren't in it. Like, in the sense of like the experience of it, because the tension's not there every freaking pitch.
Yeah,
and it's not like.
Although I will say, so when I was in college, my dad somehow got 2 tickets to Super Bowl 33, which was the second Broncos. It was the year after the Elway finally won. It was the back-to-back Broncos one. So it was the Dirty Bird Falcons. Mm-hmm. And Matt, like, and it's the only Super Bowl I've ever been to. It was not like having no interest in the game whatsoever made it not nearly as pleasant an experience.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Football is also, I think, horrible to watch in person because the breaks are so long. Yeah. And but I don't know. I mean, like, I went to the 2003 Red Sox playoff game against the Yankees where Don Zimmer charged Pedro.
Sure.
And then the following year, I was at Yankee Stadium for the Who's Your Daddy playoff game where Pedro got shelled against the Yankees. And those were incredible. Like, those were...
What's the most... Are those the 2 most significant, like, sporting event, like things... of all the games you've been to, like, are there any famous moments that stand out?
I mean, not really. Not really. Honestly, like, the only other... when I think about like sporting events that I remember from my life, there is one that sticks out with me. It was probably 1991, and my dad took me to a Celtics playoff game, and it was the tail end of Larry Bird's career. I don't know if he retired after that year or played one more year. And I remember he went up for a dunk and couldn't get over the rim and, had his dunk blocked by the rim. And I just remember, for some reason, that is one of those like weird youth core memories that sticks with you. I'm trying to think what else. Like,
was it just that like humans are fallible? Like, what was that moment?
Yeah,
for you?
I don't know.
What did it teach
kind
you?
of like the your childhood hero is like not is fallible.
I've mostly missed. So other than like that, they were big games like the World Series and playoff games. I've mostly missed big moments. I saw Albert Pujols hit his 500th home run.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was at Nationals Park when he was with the Angels. I'm trying to think. I saw Barry Bonds' 40th and 41st home runs on his way to 73 in 2001, which he hit in Seattle of all places. But yeah, I mean, so my dad tells the story. So when he was 13. His father took him to a doubleheader, a Mets doubleheader on Father's Day at Shea Stadium. It was the first year Shea Stadium was open. So it was Father's Day 1964, which was Jim Bunning's perfect game.
That's cool.
So for the non-baseball fans, a perfect game is 27 up, 27 down. It is the second rarest feat, right, in baseball. Beyond, I think, just unassisted triple plays are rarer, and that's it. And, that was, it was, the only problem is that typical Mets fandom, right? It was a perfect game against the Mets.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
hey,
there you go.
If you're going to go see him get no hit, you might as well have it be a perfect game,
Better a perfect game than like a one-hit complete game shutout.
Oh, yeah. I drove up to San Francisco to see a Red Sox Giants game, and David Price pitched he pitched 9 innings of 1-run ball, and we lost. It was. Do
you guys remember Musina's near perfect game?
Yes.
It's gotten totally lost to history because it happened literally right before 9/11. but like it was Sunday Night Baseball in early September of 2001. And Mussina was pitching for the Yankees at Fenway, and he had a perfect game through 8 2/3, and I think he hit Carl Everett. Is that possible, Matt?
No, it was Carl Everett broke it up.
Right, but with a hit by pitch. Am I making that up?
Was it a hit by pitch, or was it a single? It was a meaningless nothing. I remember.
But with 2 outs in the ninth, like Mussina was one batter away.
Yes, correct. That is correct.
You want to know some other Carl Everett ephemera?
Yes,
sure.
He doesn't believe in dinosaurs.
That's true. I don't
Matt,
believe
you are
in dinosaurs.
Wait. Matt is right. With 2 outs in the ninth, Mussina was 1 strike away, and Everett broke it up with a 2-strike opposite field single.
And it was a cheap single, and it was like Carl Everett was like pumped for it, and I was.
Would have been weird for a Yankees pitcher to throw a perfect game at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, so
we've lost everybody.
Now that we've got all that sport talking out of the way,
should we do the bios?
Yeah. So at some point, our listenership. I mean, right now, Karen is is half. I looked at the numbers today. She is 0.25% of our audience. So do the math. There's a whopping 400 of you. Yeah.
By height or by listenership?
By listenership. So we're early. Tell a friend if you like the show. Tell a friend. We'll get the numbers up eventually.
Subscribe.
I have yet to post about it. I've yet to post about it, in all honesty.
Hit
and
the
I don't
bell
think
to
I've
be
mentioned
notified.
it on a podcast.
Great,
do all those
thanks,
things. Comment on YouTube. I'm waiting for the right moment, and then I'll be like,
well,
check
we're
this
6
out.
episodes in, so
yeah, it doesn't feel like the right moment. I think 8.
Maybe I will skeet about it on Blue Sky.
we're not going anywhere.
That's true. I'm gonna. What do they say on Truth Social? What do you do? Bleat?
Isn't it a truth? It's a truth.
Yes. Is that what it is? It's a truth. I'm gonna truth about it. I'll have to get a Truth Social. Imagine if the only social media account we had was a Truth Social.
You can find us on Truth Social app.
Pam, you gotta listen to this podcast. All of my truths will be just directed at Pam Bondi, and I'll just say, Pam, why aren't you listening to Uncles-in-Law? All right. So anyway, Karen said that people don't know who we are or what we're doing, and we needed to tell people more about that. So she said we should do so, and I said, well, if she wants that to happen so much, why doesn't she write our bios for us?
Yep.
And she did. So,
Karen, the woman to whom I'm related by marriage.
And my younger sister.
And my wife's younger sister.
Your wife only has
All
one
right.
sister.
That's right.
And she is younger than her.
Correct.
I don't know that made any sense. It looks like the order in which we're going here, we're going to go in what looks like reverse alphabetical order. Okay, Steve, you're up.
Okay, so I'm not going to editorialize. I'm just reading what Karen wrote and
verbatim.
Save your judgments. Steve Vladeck is tall, too tall for his own good. Standing at 6'8", he barely fits into most spaces, including but not limited to any bed smaller than a California king, airplane lavatories, and most restaurant booths. He missed walking onto the Amherst men's basketball team by 1 spot, a rejection he has harbored for 25 years, and which fueled his desire to get onto the Amherst Board of Trustees, which he did in 2025 by a narrow margin. What the hell is that?
That's the truth.
A born and raised New Yorker, Steve moved to D.C. for 4 years during the Clinton administration for his dad's job. His entire family hated D.C. except for him. That's true. His day job is a law professor at Georgetown University Law Center, where he teaches constitutional law in federal courts, but mostly just complains about the Supreme Court to his students. Also true. He also writes a Substack newsletter called One First, which, see Supra, mostly just complains about the Supreme Court. His parentheses awesome, close parentheses wife is Karen Vladeck, who owns her own legal recruiting company and makes the bulk of the income for their household.
I've heard that, actually. I've heard that to be true.
That has not always been true. I just want the record to reflect that point. They have 2 daughters. The oldest is Maddie, age 10, and a classic oldest daughter. She thinks she's smarter than everyone. She might not be wrong, and plays volleyball and softball, although not particularly well. The youngest is Sydney, 7, and actually is the cutest person alive, and takes wholly after her mother. Steve takes her to her synchronized skating practice every week at 6 a.m. on Sundays, which is his greatest contribution to our family lives other than expertly loading the dishwasher every night. That is my bio from my wife.
You know what we say, no lies detected.
Henry, we were driving by a house that was getting remodeled, and there were 2 dishwashers out on the lawn as they were like putting the new one in. They had pulled the old one out, and he's like, "What are those?" And I was like, "Those are dishwashers." And he's like, "What's a dishwasher?" I was like, "You know what? Valid. We have one that I never use, and I'm the only one who does dishes. So thank you." Steve, that was good. I gotta say, I learned a few things in there. My skills of deductive reasoning. I got to see the phrase "see supra" used in context. That was nice.
And Steve, I know you said you weren't going to editorialize, but let's say a genie grants you one wish. If you were to editorialize one thing, because you get one wish, what would you editorialize about that bio?
I think all I would say is that when thinking about the contributions that I make to our family, I think loading the dishwasher and taking Sydney to her 6 a.m. synchronized skating practice are fairly low on the list. But, you know.
They loom large in the Steve Vladek legend,
yeah.
I will say.
You know.
They are talked about frequently.
It's high in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
I mean, every time we've been invited to stay at your home, your dishwashing loading skills have gone not unnoticed.
That's right. In fact,
You're
I will
like
say
a
sometimes,
Roomba that picks up
sometimes when I am loading the dishwasher, I think, what would Steve do?
Oh, that melts my heart, Michael.
And then I just throw it all in there and press the button.
That seems to be the Shafrir family approach to loading the dishwasher.
No, the Shafrir family approach is not loading until
I will say,
it's absolutely necessary.
My late wife used to compliment me both for my dishwasher loading and my unloading.
Oh, wait, how do you get complimented for unloading?
Because
there's got to be only one way to unload the dishwasher.
When she would unload the dish, no, there is not. Not when you are Allison Luck. The way she would unload the dishwasher is she would take one bowl, put it away, then take like one knife and put it away, then take one cup and put it away.
No, you stack them.
Yes, so it took like 2 hours to unload the dishwasher. So one day she saw me stacking all the bowls, all the cups, taking the caddy out of the dishwasher. And
that's a good move I've never done,
and she
actually.
was like, "Why do you unload the dishwasher that way?" And I was like,
"Because of the time.
Why wouldn't you? I don't." And what I said to her was true of many things around the house, because I hate doing household chores. So I try to do them as quickly as possible so that I am then no longer doing them.
Right.
That's it. That's my only goal.
I will say, Karen did, I think, leave out my single most marketable skill, which I actually deployed earlier today. So, you know, she's flying back to D.C. from this conference in New Orleans. And while I was in my meeting, I saw that her flight had been seriously delayed. I mean, it's now 6 hours delayed. And so without even talking to her, because she was at lunch, I looked up what other flights she could take to get home from New Orleans to D.C. I booked a flight for her. I got her a seat. I got the confirmation, and I sent her one text message that said, "Your American flight is fucked. I have booked you on this Southwest flight. Here's your new confirmation."
Why does American fly from D.C. to New Orleans?
I don't know.
There seems to be a lot of D.C. to Orleans action that happens weirdly.
Although apparently it doesn't, Michael. Apparently it doesn't fly from DC to New Orleans. At least not today.
Well, it probably flies one time a day. So if the flight
So as I learned at about 1:30 this afternoon, 3 times a day, and the both of the later flights are delayed.
Interesting.
So
I do know. I did know that about you, and I've seen that in action. You are as someone who myself considers who's someone who considers themselves a skilled travel logistics person, I have known that about you.
Sadly, so does your mother.
Yeah.
Steve also, I will say this about Steve also regarding travel. He's a very, very good airport pickup drop-off person. Like as far as like what time to leave, how he's getting to the airport, where he's pulling up, where you're loading out or loading in. He's very good at that.
Yes, but there is always the risk that he then has to drive you back to the house or from the house to the airport.
Just close your eyes.
I'm actually surprised Karen didn't mention your driving.
So, Michael, let's talk about your bio.
Okay. All right. Michael Shafrir, that's me, was always the golden child of the Shafrir family, a true middle child through and through. He mostly just checked out of family discussions or decisions, and yet remains the favorite, and it's not close. Growing up, everyone remarked on the incredible luck that Michael always seemed to have. He coasted through high school doing the bare minimum amount of work and somehow got into the University of Michigan. Ditto his time at Michigan, and even more remarkably, got into MIT's Sloan Business School. After Sloan, he went to work at McKinsey and then tech companies, where he once again phoned it in, but yet still became the most successful and beloved by all. In a deeply unfortunate turn of events, this streak of luck ran out when his darling, beloved, truly most favorite member of our entire family, Allison, was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and passed away in June 2025. Karen wishes she could write only about Allison, because to say she was the brightest light you ever met would be an understatement. But alas, this bio is about Michael. Michael is doing a remarkable job holding it together for his two kids, Sam 10 and Olivia 8, who enjoy things like pressing his buttons and eating sugar. They live in Westport, Connecticut, where you can find Michael mostly either sitting on the couch, golfing, or his favorite, sitting on the couch watching golf. No one quite understands what Michael does for a job, but we all know that everyone loves him, because even as a widow, he still has that golden boy charm.
Look, here's this. You're a widower, technically.
Yes.
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 I'm a widower.
My funeral directing best friend from back home, he texted me. He's like, the only thing that killed me on that podcast was Michael's not a widow. He's a widower.
A widow is a woman. Man is a widower.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Michael, so Michael, you two get one free amendment.
Look. Look, in Karen's favor, Allison was by far the favorite, not just of this family, but of anyone who
Everybody.
met her. So that part is very true. Which was a role I relished, because then people mostly ignored me, and she was the center of all the attention, which I loved. I think it's a little unfair to say that my whatever you want to call success, and I use success like lowercase s, is strictly due to luck.
Except that was Allison's maiden name, and so
that was Allison's maiden name. I think it's
that's a good pun.
To an outside observer, if you were to probably throughout my life observe me on a day-to-day basis, you would say, wow, I don't really understand how he is making it all happen. So I think that's fair, but there are appropriate snippets of hard work throughout, as a through line to everything.
Making it look easy is part of the skill.
Yeah, look, I think that's part of it. I think if and I've always said this, it's work to live, not live to work, is kind of how I have always seen the world. And I would say, I'm not a straight line of effort.
Quite frankly, that's the T-shirt. It's our first T-shirt.
It's peaks and valleys.
Episode title: I'm not a straight line of effort.
Uncles-in-law, and then on the back of the shirt it says "not a straight line of effort." That's just
peaks and valleys.
That is fantastic. I will say that I think Would you say, Michael, that you did the bare minimum and got through Michigan and into MIT? Or let's talk about that for a second.
Well,
define bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like the bare minimum. I don't know. I mean, in high school and college, I never missed an assignment. I never didn't show up for a test.
I would think that that's actually you did exactly what was required of you.
Yeah, I think that's how I would.
Yeah.
My goal is to do what's required, not more than that, and not less than that.
Yeah. I think that's
So when you're in law school, you take an exam called the MPRE, the Multi-State Professional Responsibility Exam, and the only thing that matters on the MPRE is passing. Right? There's no special points for doing better. There's no special points for having the highest score. And so they basically teach you to do enough to pass. And if you do more than that, you are doing something wrong because you're spending time that you could be doing on other things.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Life is one giant pass-fail test.
Is that
just try not to fail?
Yeah, I mean that's it though. It's and look, I will say I was blessed by being born with, I consider myself pretty smart. I don't think that that's something I worked at. I think you're just born that way. And I grew up in an environment that valued education and obviously had two very high achieving sisters that, kicking and screaming.
Don't give Karen too much credit. Don't give Karen too much credit here.
Now you're down to one high achieving sister and one older sister.
I mean, Dory, look, famously in our house, Dory took the SATs when she was in 7th grade as part of some gifted and talented program. Steve, if you tell me you took them in 5th grade, just say it now because
no, this
so that was the baseline that I was dealing with. And my mom wanted me to take the SATs in 7th grade, and I had a complete and utter mental breakdown, very famously on our family vacation to the Grand Canyon, where I was supposed to be studying for the upcoming SATs as a 13-year-old, and I lost my mind. Or a 12-year-old, however old I was. So, I was surrounded by enough, hey, here's kind of the unspoken expectations. And I don't like to let people down. I mean, that's just who I am as a person. I like to be seen as, generally reliable. Mm-hmm. But, I think when it came to my career, my goal was never to be, the CEO of Facebook. I just wanted to work at Facebook. So that was that's what I did.
I'll just say, this might come as a surprise to you, Michael. I actually sort of was a bit of a late bloomer on the academic side. I was really good at math.
That is surprising.
I was really good at math.
That's why, as your kids like to point out, that's why you never got into an Ivy League.
My kids really do like to point this out. This is something that they will tell strangers on the street.
By the way, the beauty of that is I never would have known if they didn't tell me.
You know what? It really held me back. Although technically it was only college, Matt. But no, but so Karen has this theory that I actually have undiagnosed dysgraphia, and that
what's that?
Dysgraphia is sort of it's like a very sort of, I mean, Matt might know more about this than I do, but my understanding is it's like a mild learning disability where your hands can't work as fast as your brain does. And so when you're handwriting stuff, which, at our age we were still doing in school, apparently it's very commonly undiagnosed in left-handed kids because teachers in that day and age would just chalk it up to bad handwriting as opposed to a disconnect between brain and hand. So everything changed for me, Michael, in the 7th grade, the first time we had a computer at home and I could do my homework on the computer.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't, I think it's, look, when I was growing up and I got to high school, the only place I ever wanted to go to college was Michigan. Mm-hmm. That was it. And, my mom my mom had gone there. I grew up a huge Michigan fan. And
my parents met there.
Yeah. I mean, I think in my mind, it was, besides being a huge fan, I think like I probably wouldn't have been able to like articulate this at the time, but it was also the perfect combination of level of effort required in high school and like what I was willing to put in to get into a school like that. Like I was not willing to put in the effort to go to Penn like Dory, even though my mom was desperate for me to go to Penn. But I just was not going to do that. So I think the better way to describe it, now that I'm saying that out loud, is like, I've always set what I believe to be achievable goals based on the level of effort that I want to put in.
That's brilliant. I think that's a deeply efficient and thoughtful way to go through life.
Yeah. That is the definition of working smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Matthew.
Let's see. Here's where did it go? I've lost it. That's something else you'll find out about me very soon. Where did this get? This got emailed to my regular.
Matt, who by the way is wearing. I think this is our 6th episode of the podcast, and he is wearing his 6th different fitted Red Sox hat.
I promise. Yeah, fitted. Not only fitted, but first of all, my hair is longer than it's ever been. Second of all, let's take a look at the size, everybody. Boom.
8 1/4. Yep.
Massive.
Right, Matt's actually I think Matt is the only
and then 8
Matt is the
1/4 and
only
8
person,
1/2 and then no hat. They have no hat for you.
Matt is the only person I know who actually has a larger fitted cap size than me.
Yeah, and me. I'm realistically an 8 as well.
Oh, well then we are the same because I'm an 8.
You know, I've got some great hats for you, Michael. I'll bring you some Red Sox.
What about
hats.
me?
I've got some 8s. You know, you're a Nets fan. What
would
do you want?
Would you wear a Red Sox hat?
What do you want with a Red Sox hat?
I would put it this way. I would wear a Red Sox hat long before I would wear lots of other teams' hats.
Sure, that's fair.
Name one.
I would.
The Braves, the Phillies, the Dodgers.
Name one not
the
in the NL East or the Dodgers.
Yeah, not the NL East.
The Yankees.
Oh,
that's
good.
fair.
That's good.
That's
that
fair.
makes me feel.
That is fair.
Come on, I can. I mean, I would say the only other baseball team that I actually openly root for is the Mariners, and so I actually have I have the City Connect blue, Trident Mariners hat.
That's a great hat.
But after the Mets and the Mariners, I would say probably the Red Sox are the team I would root for third most in the majors.
Well, you know what? We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So thank you.
Welcome.
All right, Matt, did you find it?
So here, according to Karen, here we go. Ready? Matt Myra is the official IT support desk for the family. Sorry, Steve. Based on his many years as an employee at the Apple Genius Bar, Matt loves nothing more than fielding tech questions from his mother-in-law, Roberta. Actually, I would say Abishai asks more of them, believe it or not, especially when those come from 3,000 miles away to do anything to do with the router that is no longer sending out a Wi-Fi signal. Matt is a diehard Bostonian who excels at watching the Red Sox. That's true. Finding random content on YouTube, also true. Knowing facts about Disney, also true. Winning money at casinos, I wish that were truer, but in fairness, I haven't been in 2 years. He's the host of multiple podcasts, including Star Trek Next Conversation, Matt Dory's Excellent Adventure, etc. Because podcasting doesn't pay the bills like it used to, he agreed to do this podcast against his better judgment to waste even more time on something that generates zero income. Matt lives in Los Angeles with his wife Dory, Karen's sister, who is a writer and also a podcaster. Their son Henry is 6, is a math genius who keeps Matt on his toes at all times. Not really. I sort of do a lot of that on my butt. When not podcasting, Matt can be found watching baseball and trying to sell or buy baseball cards on eBay and procrastinating. All pretty accurate, I would say. It's not like I can't handle Henry. It's just that he's a lot.
I would have added more about your stint on the Goldbergs.
Yes.
Oh, sure. I mean, people, I know, whatever. Look, I have an IMDb page. Check it out.
Or
You'll be very
like
impressed.
the Nerdist was like one of
Nerdist.
the OG huge.
Yeah,
podcasts.
actually, that's true. The most people when people find out, Matt, that you and I are sort of related, the Nerdist is usually the most common reason why they find that amusing.
Oh, sure. This is a mug from the set of the original Nerdist TV show on BBC America. I've got an
Matt,
after.
you were even once recognized walking down the Main Street Westport by a fanatic fan.
That is true. Yes. Yeah. I have. You know what? That would happen almost all the time. Whenever I was in a different city, and I happened to post something on social media, I would then always be recognized. And since I no longer post anything on social media, it's like it so rarely happens at this point. I also couldn't go to Disney World or Land without getting recognized.
Well, there's a big crossover there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. My favorite was
Matt, I don't know if you know this, but the hardest I have laughed in my life was the end credits to the Goldbergs episode with the video of you flipping the golf cart.
Sure. Yeah, season 4. Season 4. I don't even remember what that
I have literally never laughed harder in my life.
I now remember that episode. I wrote that episode. It's called Fonzie Scheme, where Barry does not understand what a Ponzi scheme is. He thinks it's a Fonzie scheme. Ha ha ha. He gets run over by a golf cart just like I did. Yes, that happened. Check it out, everybody. It's there. But I will say that
Sydney thought until last year that fingers was actually thingers because you use them for things.
Okay. Here's why am I hearing an echo again?
Yeah, now I'm hearing an echo too.
What did I do?
I have some questions, Matt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you First of all, what year did you move to LA?
2007.
Did you move out there with the intended goal of working as a television writer?
Yes.
Or in entertainment? You did.
Yeah. Yeah. I left. I wanted to give it 5 years and see where it ended up, but I came out to write comedy and be in comedy. And it happened because I was noticing that there were a lot of live comedy shows happening in LA at like the UCB Theater, particularly. I would see them on bobanddavid.com, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross's website. They'd have it posted on the right side when they were doing shows, and it would be like Patton Oswalt and Sarah Silverman and David Cross and Bob Odenkirk and Scott Aukerman and all like on like a 7 p.m. show on a Wednesday for $3, and I'd be like, well, that's what I got to go out there. Everybody seems to be there doing that. And then when I moved out, I was like, I should get a job at either the two places I know that comedy writers go, a Starbucks or the Apple Store, to get their computer fixed. So that was my plan, and that was what I moved out. I lived in Pasadena. I ended up working at the Apple Store at the Grove, and that's where I met. That's where I met everybody. I met Hardwick there. That's how we became friends. I met Tom Lennon there, still a really good friend of mine. Kevin Pollak, like all these comedy
the
people.
Apple Store in the Grove is real. Yeah. The Apple Store in the Grove. Who knew?
Do you think that strategy would still work today?
No, I don't, because there is so little. There's so little personal interaction at this point in life. You know, we're a different. Like I used to. When you would come into the Apple Store, and if you had a problem, when I eventually was working at the Genius Bar as an actual repair technician, they'd sit there, and they'd have to sit there for like however long it took me to diagnose and fix their problem or check in their computer or whatever, and they were hostages, as I was a hostage of them. So it was I don't
a mutually destructive situation.
Anymore.
It was Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, and also like I was also like very. I never cared about celebrity in the sense of like I never got nervous around celebrities or anything like that. So I would just talk to them like normal people and became friendly with them. And then what would happen after that was people would then come back and seek me out, you know, and run into me. You know who the nicest guy is of all the celebrity people that would come into the Apple Store? Thomas Gibson of Dharma and Greg. Greg, that guy. He was always very sweet and remembered my name, even though I rarely ever dealt with him, but he was just a very sweet man. And then there were two people that I was too nervous to help. and I ran and hid in the back. Mitch Hurwitz, the creator of Arrested Development, who I now have a photo of him, and I have a photo of him holding me like a baby. Years later, and Scott Thompson of Kids in the Hall.
Mm-hmm.
He was the other one that I was just like, oh my God, I can't even.
So then, what's your answer when people ask, what was your first job in entertainment?
My first job in entertainment, I started podcasting in 2008.
Wow.
So that was with Jimmy Dore and Todd Glass, and that was a podcast called Comedy and Everything Else. Jimmy, who I met at the Apple Store, hilariously. And then that podcast, we'd have a bunch of people on who, like Steve Agee, who ended up, a lot of these people, were at my wedding. Like, these became my really good friends.
So were Michael and me.
Yeah, I was there too.
True. You were there, yep.
Along with an Elvis impersoiner.
Indeed.
And Will Wheaton. It was really a time. The train of thought I had, regarding getting into entertainment, first entertainment job, quote unquote, that paid money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I started doing the Nerdist podcast and was still working at the Apple Store. And there became a point where I came down the elevator. There's 2 floors at the Grove, at the old Grove Apple Store. It's not in the same building anymore, but it's still at the Grove. I came down the elevator, and a guy wanted to take a picture with me and had me hold his baby in the picture. And I was just trying to go into the break room to have lunch and clock out. And I was like, that was when I was like, oh, okay, I should probably either go part-time or leave. I think I went part-time first. And then the Nerdist TV show pilot had aired on BBC America. And I finally quit like 2 weeks later because Vinny, who was the EP at Attack of the Show, he got sent to the Genius Bar, and Hardwick sent him to me. And I'm sitting there, and I had done the Nerdist TV show, and I was in the edit bay all the time with my mom's calling. We'll get to that later. I was in the edit bay with his wife Kristen, who was one of our writers on the Nerdist TV show, and I was fixing his iMac, and I'm talking to him, and he looks at me and he goes, "You ever want to like do the TV thing more?" And I was like, yeah, sure. And he offered me a job as a senior segment producer on Attack of the Show, and that was my first steady TV job. And we did that show live 5 days a week for 50 weeks a year, and that was
That's really cool.
And I did I started off just producing the tech review segments. Then Steve Jobs died, and that was when they had me on the air to talk about it. That was my first time on air. And then by the end of Attack of the Show, I hosted the very last episode.
Wow.
So like essentially started at the Genius Bar, ended up hosting the show. So
started at the Genius Bar, ended up at Genius. Works out well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I'll tell you guys, TV's taken a weird turn. Not a lot of people making it anymore. And here we are. Also, you'll notice from that description, I live in Los Angeles with my wife, Dory, who is a writer and also a podcaster. I don't know if you're familiar with two things that no longer bring in any income for human beings. Writing and podcasting. And that is what we do. So, anyway, I'm so glad you guys decided to start a podcast. You got in at the right time.
Yep.
I mean, I enjoyed the chance to catch up with you guys, even if only 7 people are listening.
Oh, totally. 100%.
Speaking of, hey, you said we actually have some emails. Did you find them?
There's a few hundred people listening. I didn't find them, but here's what I'm going to do. Because I couldn't find them, because I could not access the email tab of that account currently. I think on my laptop I'll have better luck, but I'm on my iMac. I will go to our YouTube page and I will tell you all of our comments from the
all 3 of them
episodes. From the 4 episodes that are posted there, I will now read all of our comments. And you'll have to remember This is a YouTube thing. Here we go. Ready? Uncles-in-law. We'll start with episode 1. Here we go. Episode 1 currently, guess what, guys? On YouTube, 190 views. We did it. That's pretty good, right? We've got...
But like that's I mean, but that's on top of our, podcast.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
On top of the audio. We're primarily an audio podcast.
We're cracking like 300 maybe.
I know. We have 3 comments on that video, okay? Which is
Great.
pretty good engagement when you really think about it.
Yeah. That's a good conversion.
What if they're all from me?
First one is Katie Field, Y6T 1 hour ago. She said, love it. Keep it up, you guys. So, hey.
Thanks,
that's
Katie
pretty
T.
good, right?
Thanks, Katie.
Then we have Save the Telephone Sanitizers. It's a great YouTube name. He says, I was living in D.C. during the blizzard of 96. I went to GWU, and we were a plowed, shoveled island in the middle of the D.C. chaos.
Wow.
So there you
Does
go.
GW have its own plows?
It's the West End. Who knows?
Someone important must have lived right on campus.
Very close.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's also a hospital right there.
Yeah.
Guys, we're doing great. 190 views on this and 16 likes and 3 comments. I mean,
Great.
really percentage-wise, we're crushing
Okay,
it.
what's the third comment?
The third comment is by 7H1101, and his comment is your classic internet first. Just wrote first.
That actually makes me feel like we might make it.
Let's see. Then we have this episode. Hang on, which is 12 days. No comments on the second episode. Hang on. The episode that I just put up does have a comment. This is a great episode. This is from Tim Tonka 3170. This is a great episode. Matt's life turned into a 90s sitcom for a day. This is when the guy fell through my roof and Dory hit a car.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got excited when I saw Steve talking about the Supreme Court in a CNN clip. And he goes, hey, that's one of Henry's uncles. And then 7H1101 is first again, but this time he doesn't write first. He does 2 emoji thumbs up.
All right.
7H1101 for the win.
That's great.
This is
That's
honestly that went better than I thought it would. Those were all very nice comments, and
Yeah.
I really, honestly, am touched.
Well, hey, thank you, everyone, for your comments.
And
you
maybe
guys-
next week we actually will read the emails.
Yeah.
So if I
Matt will prep a little.
Matt, do you want to read the email address one more time?
unclesinlawpod@gmail.com. Send it. If you can't, here's the deal. If that one's not working, if it gets bounced back for some reason, just email me, MatthewMyra@gmail.com. Email that one. You're like, oh, you just gave out your personal email address. I have 2. I don't really use the Gmail one. So there you go. Hit it.
Also, Matt, if we're at
Yeah.
a point where you giving out your personal email on this podcast is generating enough email that it's actually a problem,
Yeah.
we're doing
Great.
better than I thought.
Yeah.
No
Good problem
problem.
to have.
Hit me up, guys. Let me know. No
This is like
unsolicited scripts,
so
please.
people like I get asked like I get these emails sometimes from like people I know like, hey, can I give this other person your email address? I'm like,
Right.
I am the most Googleable person in the history of the world, and my work email is on the first hit for me on Google. So yes, you may give them my email address, and if they had spent 5 seconds looking, they would have found.
You know
And
what?
here's-
I
go
know
ahead,
the
Michael.
person asking that is not your wife, because Karen. One of the things that drives me crazy about her is she does not do double opt-in intros.
Wait, Michael, she's terrible at introducing people, period, right? Like, she
How
brings
the
me
fuck
this.
does she run a business where she recruits people for people?
This is the point. This is why it's ironic, Matt. So I get grief all the time about how unsocial I am, right? Like about how I don't like going out, I don't like meeting new people, etc. So I come to one of Karen's work things, whatever, like supportive husband doing my bid for king and country, right? And I'm standing there, and like, I walk over to Karen and somebody I don't know, and I'm like, hey, and Karen just starts talking, and I'm like, like, I'm Steve, Karen's husband.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, just bad at intros all around. Either way too aggressive or completely useless. Karen, if you're listening, you got to find a middle ground.
So I think it comes from a good place. Like, I think she just assumes that everybody already knows everybody, right? But
I think it's also that she assumes everybody is willing to put in whatever legwork she is willing to put in.
Yeah.
When no one's willing to do that.
That's right. I will tell you that where it came up most acutely was when I worked at Facebook, and fairly frequently I would get emails from Karen introducing me to people that had their Instagram accounts hacked or their Facebook accounts hacked. And look, internally we had a employees only escalation path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it required some work, and as we have discussed on this episode, that was not what I was looking to do beyond my day job. And when you get an email from your sister introducing you to people that are like desperate to get their Instagram account back, you feel an obligation to help them.
You also kind of want to know, like, how important is this person to you?
Right.
Like, is this like a 10 out of 10 person, or is this like a 5 out of 10 person?
Or if their account had been suspended, was it maybe justified? Before I vouch for this person.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
So I have this problem. So Karen is a wildly successful legal recruiter now because it plays perfectly to her strengths, right? Because she understands the business of law firms, and she's like a people person, other than this one little flaw, right, to the extreme. But I have a bunch of connections to lawyers, right, that are sometimes useful for her and vice versa, right? Like my former students oftentimes will reach out to me about working with her and vice versa. And it's like, she is like, hello. Michael, it's the asymmetrical introduction, right?
If you're listening and you're someone who likes to intro people without asking the person you're introing them to if they are willing to be introed.
Yes. But Michael, even when they're willing. So wait. So when I connect people, right, I always write emails that have both of them in the to line, right?
Oh, totally.
And the first paragraph is person A, meet person B. Here's some stuff about person B. Person B, meet person A. Here's some stuff about person A. Right? Like,
Yes, but hopefully
I wouldn't call these people.
You've cleared it with both person A and B before you make that intro.
So it depends. It depends. It depends.
You're not a double opt-in.
No,
intro
you got to do
so
that.
I'm not a double opt. So in my line of work, Michael, right? Like, double opt-in doesn't always make sense, right? Because I am often a reference for students, right? And so, like, I've been given permission by the student to talk about them without necessarily, right, like having to sort of clear each person I talk to.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
That's different. That's different.
If the student was like, hey, Steve, I know you know Joe Esquire. I'm interested in a job at his firm.
Oh yeah, no, I would never email them blind. No,
cold email Joe Esquire.
And no, in fact, and indeed, if it's Karen, like, because I get a lot of emails like, hey, can you connect me with Karen, right? Like, right. I am almost always forwarding that to Karen first before I act. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're forgiven.
Now, mind you, if I get an email from, like, a partner at a big law firm who's like, hey, can you connect me with Karen? I'm like, sure.
Right. Look, I mean, you have domain.
You know where your bread is buttered. You know who's bringing home that bacon.
That's right.
As my bio suggests, right? This is, Karen.
If you want to eat, you better forward that email.
I will say, Karen has found a job with like gross income, whatever. Karen has found a job with a much better income to labor ratio than my various hats. That is definitely true.
Well, welcome to sales.
This is I think I've learned a lot about being in the wrong field, choosing incorrectly. Why try to do what made you happy, Matt? Just should have done something else. Okay, I mean, it's all good information.
Matt, you made one very good choice though.
Dory, that was the choice. Right. Yeah. and we're paying for it every day.
I knew that punchline, and I just was cringing on the inside.
You know, I set you up to say something nice, Matt, and you had to go there.
Oh no, yeah, I know. She knows too. Look, I will say this for the record. I love no one more than my wife. Honest to God. She's a delight. But if I didn't have to see her disappointment in me reflected back at me every single day, I'd probably be a little happier. Okay? That's all. I look at her eyes, and what do I see? She goes, oh, I married a nice, successful TV writer who hasn't written television in a couple years, and the industry's broken. That's what I see.
You know what, Matt?
Yes. What?
Your story's not done being written.
I don't know about that.
Well, you know.
My story is not done being written. It'll be written by ChatGPT.
So we've reached the group therapy part of the podcast.
That's it.
That,
all right.
That does tell me that it's time to let you guys go.
Come back next week?
Yes, I suppose so.
7H1101 has to be first again.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
Back,
I cannot wait.
110.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see him back there. Quick. What are we looking forward to next week? Oh, I didn't even tell my golf story to Michael. My God.
Go ahead, Steve.
So it's actually my spring break next week, although it's not either of my children's spring breaks, which means I'm traveling and they're not. So I'm giving 2 actually really cool endowed lectures next week. On Tuesday, I will be at the University of Tulsa giving the Hager lecture. And on Wednesday, actually one I've been really looking forward to for a long time, I'm giving the Senator Dennis Chavez Distinguished Lecture at the University of New Mexico, which is, he was a really cool dude. He was the first first Latino American to be elected to the Senate. There's actually one who served before him, and he was a real early champion for civil rights. He was the first
Rubio.
He was the first person to stand up to Joseph McCarthy on the floor of the Senate. I mean, getting to give a lecture in his honor is a really cool professional feather in the cap.
I didn't hear any of that because I was trying to make sure that Tulsa is the Golden Eagles and New Mexico is the Lobos. Is that right?
Both of those are correct.
Okay. All right. So.
And New Mexico,
but your guy sounds cool also.
So Karen would. I'm surprised she didn't put this in my bio. So I don't do this anymore. But there was a time in our lives where every time I would give a talk at a new college, I would get some piece of swag from the college store just as a memento or a token. I don't know, the Tulsa colors don't really do it for me, but New Mexico has some cool swag. Like
an ear necklace from Vietnam. It was that kind of thing for you.
Just like that, Matt. That's exactly what I was going for.
You just gotta go. You know what I mean? Just gotta remember where you were.
Yep.
And what you did.
Michael?
So Steve, you're on spring break, so I'll play the air horn. Spring break! Okay, now Michael, go ahead.
What am I looking forward to? I will say supposedly here on the East Coast next week, it's supposed to get a little warmer. And God willing, the snow melts.
Have you driven by your golf course just to see the sea of white?
Yes. It was not as bad. It actually showed some signs of melting, which gave me some hope. Nice. And I feel like after next week, the snow will be gone there. It's supposed to get, into the 50s by the end of next week.
Wow. That's impressive.
So yeah, that's where my life is at right now.
Yeah.
Where
no, I get it.
Some weeks, the most exciting thing you can look forward to is the weather.
I think, honestly, it's 90 degrees today and I fucking hate it. So I really appreciate when the weather breaks in the opposite
direction. Come to Albuquerque.
That seems far. I don't know if you're familiar with the previous 20 minutes of the podcast, but I can't afford to go to Albuquerque right now. All right. Thank you.
I'm giving a talk in Vegas in April.
Oh, I mean, I could go. I don't know how well that would end for anybody. Okay. But anyway, yes. Me, I'm not. What am I looking forward to next week? Avishai and Roberta are going to swing through. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
The in-laws.
It's going to be a hoot. And also I'm looking forward to F1 Australia, the first F1 race of the season. Henry's very excited about it, so we will be watching that.
who's supposed to win the season?
Well, they're brand new cars with brand new rules and brand new engines and brand new drivetrains, and everybody was sort of pretending that they weren't that fast in Bahrain at the testing, so it's really up in the air. A lot of people think Mercedes is sandbagging everyone, so we'll see.
Typical German behavior.
Typical. Cadillac will be lucky if they place in the top 10. And Max Verstappen has said these cars are not fun to drive. It might as well be Formula E. I think I might retire. So there you go.
Wow. Okay. All right. Exciting.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Email the show or me. Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.